This is Linda Solomon with Stamp with Linda, and thank you for joining with me on my second video using the baby wipes technique. We're going to be making this card right here in front using the baby wipes technique that we did on the leaves here that you can see. And let's get started. Baby wipes technique works great with this set that we're using here, the Colorful Seasons set. It has the solid images of the two leaves. The snowflakes work well with it, the flowers, and I'll show you some samples afterwards with it. So here we go. We're going to start with the baby wipes, and we're going to start with a piece of very vanilla cardstock that's 5 by 3 3/4. But we have to prepare our baby wipes first. We're going to be using reinkers to make our own little ink pad. We're going to start with crushed curry. Hold on, let me fix something here. I need to make sure that this is I want a kind of a flatter surface than that. So we're going to use crushed curry first. I tend to put more of the crushed curry because it's a lighter color. Then we're going to use a few drops of the Tangerine Tango. And we'll use some Cajun Craze. Which is a great fall color. And we'll move on to some Cherry Cobbler. That's a maple leaf, always has to have a little bit of red in it. But it's a dark color, so we have to be careful with using too much of it. And then we'll have some green, because they do start out green. Okay, we'll move this off to the side a little bit, and that'll be our ink pad. Like I said, we'll start with our very vanilla piece of cardstock, and we'll start with we'll use the large leaf. And we'll just put a bunch of leaves on the paper. I have a line there where I'm on the seam, obviously, of the baby wipe. Let's see if this comes out a little bit better. There we go. Let's go around this way. Tap it around here. And they're all going to look different because there's no way to get the paper on this thing in the same spot. But that's okay, because no two leaves are the same, right? I think because I have those lines through there, I'm going to put that as my base. So there we go. We'll set that off to the side. And now I'm going to show you a fun little trick with the Big Shot. Because we need to make the leaves. So we're going to take a piece of the copper. This is the copper foil paper, which is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this to cut out our leaves. So the leaves are going to be in the center of it, because we're only using the outside edge for the rim on the card. You'll notice here there's a outside copper piece. But so we aren't going to see the center, so we'll use the center to punch it out. So what we'll do is we'll put that, before we start, let me show you one more little trick. We also have a piece of adhesive sheet. Stampin' Up! Has just started selling the adhesive sheet again. We sell it in 6 by 12 sheets. There's 12 of them in a package on page 203 of the catalog. And this one is cut 2.5 by 2.5. And this is basically double-sided tape. So we're going to take the copper, we're going to flip it over, and we're going to put the, we're going to take the piercing tool and take off one layer of this. Like that, just like that. Oh my goodness. We had it. There we go. And this is not sticky, so that'll be thrown out. And then we'll take this sticky side and we'll put it right down on the side here. If you can see that, because it's kind of white on white there. And then we'll flip it back over and we'll put the more detailed leaf on the side where the sticky is, and we'll put the other leaf over on the other side, because that we can use regular tape on. Now we don't want the lines that you sometimes get on your plate, your cutting plate. You'll notice it's kind of scratched up, so we don't want those to end up on the copper paper. So I'm just going to put a piece of copy paper on it, and then we're going to roll it through. And we'll roll it back and forth a couple of times. Maybe about 4 times back and forth, because it is a detailed die, and I've chosen not to use the magnetic, the other plate. So there we have our copper, the leaves cut out, which we'll put off to the side. We'll use that later. And we have our copper leaf here and our detailed one right here, which we'll work with that in a minute. Now the other thing we're going to do on the big shot is cut the squares. So I'm using the layering squares framelits. We have the scallop edge one for the always artichoke and the regular square for the very vanilla. And I cut these each 2.5 by 2.5 or about, but you can use any size scrap. So we'll put that on here. And then we'll take the artichoke, which I thought was 2.5 by 2.5, but it's not. So but it'll still cut it out, which is perfect. So we'll put that on and run that through. And then we're done with our big shot. And we'll punch these out here. Get rid of our scraps. And those will be our squares. And this will go on here. And we will run this through the die brush a little bit, get some of the extra scraps out. But using the adhesive sheets will probably end up having to poke some out anyway. Let's see how that goes. Now when you pull this off, some of your pieces are going to go with the adhesive. Let's just see, some of the copper pieces come right off. So then we're only left with one piece right here. And a couple other stragglers hanging on the back here because it's so sticky. And then we're just going to mount it right on our other leaf right here. And there you go. And while we're at it here, we'll stick our very vanilla piece onto our Always Artichoke. And then we can put our copper leaf on there. And we'll bring our other piece back in. And we're going to use a couple of scraps here. We have a strip of Always Artichoke and a strip of Cajun Craze. They're each a 1/2 inch by 5 inch. And we'll tape those on. Like so. And then we have a strip of the Wood Textures DSP, which is 3/4 by 5. Just like that on there. And then Stampin' Up! Has brand new ribbon, copper trim is what it's called. And I've cut a piece that is about 24 inches, 23 inches I think is what this one is. And I'm just going to wrap this around and tie it in a little bow. I'll double knot it so it doesn't come undone. It does have a little sheen to it, so. And when I tie my little bunny ears here, I do it upside down so that the tails end up where they should be as it flips over. And then we'll put some dimensionals on here. And we'll pop this up a little bit. Stick that on right there. And then we'll put this on a piece of Always Artichoke that's 5 1/4 by 4. And then we will bring back our copper foil and we'll mount this on top of the copper foil. And then we'll put it on our card base, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. And then the last thing we need to do is our words, and we're going to use Teeny Tiny Wishes, and I'm chosen to put Thinking of You on there. Because the holidays is always a good time to be thinking of others. And we're just going to put this on a strip. I have just a strip of Very Vanilla, so we'll just put that on there. And we will use our classic label punch cut it out. And the great thing about the Teeny Tiny Wishes set is you can use all different kinds of sayings. So it doesn't have to be thinking of you, it could be thank you, it could be happy birthday. And we'll just put a mono on there. Stick that on. Oh, I got a little extra tape there. So we'll use our eraser to get that off. And there you have it. And there's a great fall card using the baby wipes technique. Now to show you a couple other samples that I have. I did one using green leaves, which you could use as an earlier fall card, or even late summer. And I used, in this one, pear pizzazz, lemon lime twist, old olive, and a little bit of soft suede, which made the brown. And then for the lettering and the birthday, happy birthday, I did the browns, the soft suede, and the old olive. And then I jumped up to the snowflakes for winter time. And on the snowflakes, I made a baby wipe pad of Soft Sky, Pool Party, Marina Mist, and Night of Navy. And then I cut out using the framelits that coordinate with the set, the larger snowflake and Night of Navy, and the smaller one using the silver foil, and then I used the metallic enamel dots for the center of it. Now for this nice little silver trim along the edge, that's Stampin' Up's new ribbon. It's got a white center with silver or gold. This one happens to have silver on each edge, and I just used the edge of the silver. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoy this video, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.